see if you can relate. The question is, if we are not broken and we do not need fixing. Now, Glenda, you got to understand, does groups. She's a group leader and a facilitator, a physiotherapist who does amazing healing work. Healing work. You'll see why I put it in quotes in a second. If we are whole and complete, which I believe to be true, then what is healing? Is healing activating the truth of who we are instead of the old paradigm of fixing? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So what I did is I jumped on that right away because I think it's such an important paradigm to shift. So this answer is for those of you, this is in another group, in an alumni group for our most advanced program. And so I wanted to read you, I wanted to activate this deeper truth, this deeper conversation. Let's just talk about the word healing, first of all. Healing says that there's something that hasn't found its deepest truth yet, or it wouldn't be perceived as not working quite as well as it could. Healing occurs when there's something, some physiological or emotional or spiritual understanding of the world. Sometimes it plays out in the physiology that is showing you that your understanding of the world or your understanding of the events that happened either haven't been heard yet fully with ears of love. They haven't been understood yet from the deeper or greater perspective. Or that there is some kind of forgiveness sometimes that needs to happen perceptively. But we're talking about advanced skills here, and we're also talking about our ability to go direct with consciousness and understand ourselves so deeply here on this page that in fact that which we might consider healing, that which we might consider, those things that we might consider wanting to heal, we can actually transmute them hundreds at a time, which is an entirely different paradigm and takes an entirely different approach. So I would love to hear if that's of interest to anybody. It does not mean that we go unconscious and that the things that are presenting that actually do need special attention you ignore. But it does mean that there's something available, because many of us have got addicted to, many people have become addicted, many people are sick of constantly analyzing and constantly being told that we need to do the work, that we need to work so hard, when our higher levels and the collective of all that we are has the capacity to transmute so much so quickly and leaves us with only the important things or the quintessential things that need to heal. And the reason is so that we can pay forward the experience of healing, healing that which would serve humanity, or that which you may pay forward to another. I also want you to know that as you embody all of yourself and as you see who you truly are, the interest in needing to analyze and use slow, arduous processes starts to become a thing for you. So maybe you've been feeling that way if you're here today. So, and a lot of you, as Carolyn is now saying, sometimes what happens is we get into this habit of overthinking. And what I want to share with you is the reason that we overthink is because we know there are deeper solutions, but the frequency that we live at gives us, see, our greater self knows that there are more solutions, but our three-dimensional self lives at a certain frequency where the frequency of the problem only exists. So it actually requires our operating system plugging into a whole new software to be able to access the answers, Carolyn. So the overthinking stops once you realize it's an entirely different mechanism than thinking about it, and that we can go direct with consciousness. So we're going to talk about going direct with consciousness today, et cetera, but in the meantime, I'm going to put my goggles on here and read you my answer to the question, if we're not broken and we don't need fixing, if we are indeed whole and complete, as I hear over and over and over again, what is healing? Is healing the activation of truth? Well, the issue is that our understanding of healing is misaligned with the advancing tools to be able to awaken. So we perceive healing as excavating old experiences from past lives or this life, which is a very karmic approach. Karma being, you had all these things happen before that you're now making up for. And what we've been taught is you have to go in and analyze all of that and figure it out yourself in order, or with some help, and that's the only way to actually get rid of it or transcend it, when that isn't true at all. In fact, if we had to do that, we would spend the next 5 lifetimes excavating everything that's happened in other lifetimes, and we would actually, it's a distraction. We would never get on with our piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth, ever. You would be so busy analyzing how come you're not being the being that you can see in your dreams that you would never get on. It's an egoic tool to say that you have to heal every little thing, or even that you have to heal a whole bunch of things in order to get on. I call that divine perfectionism. I need to heal everything and be completely in integrity with myself before I get on with who I am and why I'm here, which is a lie your ego tells you. Because in fact, you do not have to do that. In fact, the more authentic and the more screwy things are in your process, the more people will believe you, and you'll have authenticity and people will resonate with you. So it's a complete misnomer to think that. I used to be a nutritionist and train nutritionists in business, and I can tell you right now that's one of the biggest issues they had, that they had to be pristine with their nutrition in order to actually be teachers of it. So here is my answer to the question of, if we're not broken and we don't need fixing, then what is healing? So this is what I wrote to Glenda. The paradigm of healing as it has existed would become an older concept if we started to realize that we weren't broken and we didn't need fixing. This doesn't mean that all the healing that we've all done on ourselves, or those of you that consider yourself to be healers of a certain fashion, it doesn't mean that that discounts any of that. What it says is our understanding of healing has to shift.